during Diwali, like he was around 7-8 months, and we were in Delhi, and all of a sudden we started getting he started wheezing. I also started wheezing, and both of us got had a prolonged duration like cough, cold, fever for at least a month, and later we found out that it was acute bronchitis. The doctor said if this continues till he's 2 years old, he will have asthma for the rest of his life.
Hello and welcome to the Indian Express. I'm Charula Biswas and welcome to this special segment. As of the last 2 days, air pollution in New Delhi has been reported to be at alarming levels, with the air quality index frequently crossing the very poor category. And if you go and visit our website, indianexpress.com, you'll find that the national capital continued to be in the very poor category a day after the city was the most polluted in the country. At 9 a.m., the air quality was 332. Today, I'm being joined by Shilpi, who is a former resident of Delhi NCR. And I'm also being joined by Dr. Jayalakshmi, senior consultant pulmonologist at Apollo Hospital, Navi Mumbai. So let me first begin my discussion with asking Shilpi, tell me, how was it living in Delhi as a new mother and someone who has very recently left the city? And I remember you talking about air pollution being one of the primary reasons. So talk to me about your experience.
Yeah, hello, Shilpi here. So last year, around 5th Feb, I gave birth to a baby boy, and during Diwali, like he was around 7-8 months, and we were in Delhi, and all of a sudden we started getting he started wheezing. I also started wheezing, and both of us had a prolonged duration like cough, cold, fever for at least a month, and later we found out that it was acute bronchitis. Okay, and that immediately started happening around Diwali time. And that is why, after 1 month of staying here and suffering for the entire month, and my baby was like very small around that time, and we had to give him huff puff kits and nebulization and all those things we had to keep doing, and it was very sad. Like for someone for the first time I became a mother, and this was my experience, and it was very saddening. And that was when I decided to immediately leave for a few months so that his health could get restored. But yeah, so we left immediately and went to a very small town in Bihar for 3-4 months, and there all of a sudden, like his condition improved, and we did not have to give any nasoclear spray or anything like that. So it was clearly because of the location. And then this year, immediately, like 2-3 months before Diwali, we decided to just leave Delhi, and we purchased a house in Chandigarh, and now we have relocated solely because of this pollution. And even if my body can take a bit of it for babies, and my baby still wheezes, and I think the doctor said if this continues till he's 2 years old, he will have asthma for the rest of his life. And that started because he was in Delhi for the first few months of his life, and he stayed there till now, and that has led to this. And I've talked to many other people also who have gone through the same. And yeah, so if you are staying in Delhi, you can tell what I'm talking about, you can relate. So that is what I wanted to call out.
I mean, Shilpi, what you have shared is extremely shocking for me to hear, because this is the first time that I'm hearing a mother talking about her baby's health and deteriorating condition because of the air pollution and the kind of hazard that it poses to babies. Dr. Jayalakshmi, what do you have to say about this? I mean, Shilpi talking about her experience, one is quite alarming. It can lead to long-term implications. Can you tell our viewers, of course, adults are facing, health consequences because of the air pollution. But babies here, we are talking about lives that are in Delhi. Can you take us through the long-term impact of air pollution?
So what is happening is the air pollution, the water pollution, food pollution, soil pollution. So these are things which are going on increasing over the last decades, but they are not in your face. It's like if there is a flight accident, immediately there is a newspaper report and 20 people die, 30 people die, 100 people die. Of course, it's not good. But because of these effects of air pollution and illnesses, there are millions of lives which are lost, but they are not really counted because they don't come up like, okay, this death is because of asthma exacerbation, this death is because of COPD worsening, but we don't say this death is because of air pollution. So it doesn't get counted in the data or as the cause of death in many patients or the cause of illness in many patients. But what we see is whenever there is winter or whenever there is a worsening period of pollution, there will be increased lung infections, there will be sore throats, there will be nasal rhinitis worsening, nasal blocks, throat infections. And also, there is a link for air pollution to increase heart disease in addition to lung disease. So, it's increased heart disease, cancers, brain cognition. So, everything gets affected. And these don't really get reflected. Although we nowadays have started monitoring that the air quality index is so much. So, today I was just checking, it's about 152 in Navi Mumbai, where I am, and about 330 in Delhi, and but in Chennai it is less, it is around 60, and there are some places where it is on the whole less, but there are places like even Bihar, Delhi, where it is much higher. So this definitely leads to an increase in the upper respiratory infections, of course in children, and the long term effect. So we see a lot of COPD. In fact, COPD is the fourth leading cause of death in the world. Now, COPD is caused because of cigarette smoke, that we know, but it is also caused because of air pollution and because of chula exposure, which is also a form of air pollution. So this leads to a major contribution of this lung disease in India as well. So these are things which are very serious. Like I have a teenage son who's just, so he says like, what sort of world are we entering? You people had it easier. You didn't have to think about pollution or anything. We thought about our careers. We said we'll do this, we'll do that. He said, what do we have to look forward to? So this is like very sad indictment of the condition.
Yeah, especially because they are in the vulnerable population. Shilpi, if you are still there, can you tell me how difficult was it to tackle this situation? How often did you have to go to the doctor for the visit?
I live near JP. I used to live near JP Hospital, and I was a frequent visitor there. And every 2 days, 3 days, because when the wheezing starts, the baby can't sleep. His nose was blocked, and because of that, he had difficulty breathing. Because, as you know, that small babies, they don't know how to breathe through the nose. I mean, sorry, the mouth. I mean, if the nose is blocked, and we have to just keep clearing it every now and then,
Right.
and that obstructs, they have not developed the skill to breathe through the mouth.
Correct.
That is what the doctor said. And then because of this, he could not sleep, and every now and then we had to keep rushing to the hospital. And but the most sad thing about all of this was, there was one instance where I had gone to buy Budicort and Levelin. These are the nebulizers we used to give him, and there was like a huge stock. The shopkeeper had brought in a huge stock because he said the demand has increased like anything, and so many, and there were small masks, and it was so sad and heart wrenching that there's so many other babies who are going through this. And imagine, we are from a strata that we can afford to spend so much money on these things, and nebulizer machine and all those things, like 5 6 thousand. But imagine the people who can't afford to have these, and imagine the condition of their babies who don't even have a proper like meal, or they don't even have a house to stay at, and they live outside. And that is when, like, I realized that if not for anything else, I'll have to leave Delhi for my baby. Until the time he grows and he develops his lungs properly and all of this happens, we'll have to move out, you know.
Right,
So
right.
that is it.
So how's your baby doing now? How is he?
One thing that is still happening is that he wheezes when he runs a little bit. He has difficulty breathing, but it is not as bad. And now, since I'm not like in some foreign country where the AQI has all of a sudden improved a lot, I'm still in Chandigarh, which is very close. But since it's a bit outskirts, we are in Panchkula, so it's a bit outskirts and it's a suburban area. There is better AQI. And even if it's 100, I'm happy because I've come down from 370 and 350 AQI.
Yeah.
So, and when I was in Ghaziabad, it was above, like sometimes it was 400 plus also. And during Diwali, it spikes like anything. So, yeah. And that, I think if till 2 years, if this persists, we'll have to start on the asthma, like, inhaler thing. But we are hopeful because the doctor said that if the if the condition and the environment changes, it might get better. And so, yeah.
Okay, and I hope that situation never comes. Your baby lives normally and breathes good air, and we all are looking forward to a situation where we can, we stop worrying about, how polluted the air is. Like Doctor, you said your teenage son is worrying about air pollution, right? And the health crisis that each one of us is going through. In the meantime, the Environment Ministry has planned to increase the number of ambient air quality monitoring system stations in the NCR and assess the feasibility of setting up mobile stations in pollution hotspots. And the central government said in its recent submission to the NGT. Doctor, what can people do at this point in time when we are nearing Diwali, wherein the air pollution sort of spikes, like Shilpi said? And one is that's one question. And the second question is what can new mothers do to prevent, or to help their babies breathe at this point in time? If you can share your opinion.
So the thing is, there is two types of air pollution when we talk about the personal level. One is the air pollution inside the home, and one is the air pollution outside the home. So if there is air pollution outside the home, like for example in Diwali there are crackers or there are forest fires which are leading to the increased pollution, or crop fires which are burning of crops, that is what is leading to around the Delhi area, also leads to increase in the air pollution within Delhi. So these outside air pollution you can prevent a bit by keeping the windows closed, by keeping an air purifier in the house. In fact, there are small air pollution monitors which you can get. Even your phone, you can install an app which shows the air pollution around you. And keeping an air purifier inside the house, that can help to reduce. So if you can keep an air purifier in the room where you have the small baby, and keep the windows closed most of the time, you can reduce the amount of pollution coming from outside to inside. Within the house also, the cooking fumes, you can have a good ventilation and the vent so that there are no cooking fumes generating and developing inside the house. Agarbattis and other things we can reduce. So the cigarette smoke, of course, we can reduce. So these things can be reduced within the house. So another thing is many times the inside the house, the furniture under the bed, over the cupboards or behind the cupboards. So whenever there are dust accumulation over here, that also increases the air pollution inside. So frequent cleaning, changing of bed sheets, curtains, using thin bed sheets which can be changed easily, using a foam bed rather than a cotton mattress. That also has been known to help, changing it frequently. So these things, wiping inside, so these things definitely do help in helping for a newborn baby.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doctor, and thank you so much, Shilpi, for joining me in this conversation, a very important conversation that we all need to have. And especially the government needs to think about the health crisis we all are going through and how they can come to a solution wherein all of us can stop worrying. So thank you so much, everyone. And if you like this video, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.